Fellas, is Pokemon disconnected from the hobby? I think so. They just don't. Watching that Pokemon Super Bowl commercial just did not make any sense. You know, you have some famous people on there that just talked about their favorite Pokemon for the 30th anniversary that's coming up. It's like, we could have easily just talked about what the 30th anniversary was going to look like and talk about anything, really. Try to sell something. They didn't try to sell us anything, and I was very surprised. Very surprised at kind of how poor a lot of the Super Bowl commercials were. They weren't very good, and you know, kind of just the disconnect that's there between almost all brands, really, and between the people who enjoy them. But there is one thing that I think has kind of started a little bit of stir, and that's these new illustration rare promos, series 1 with the Kanto, Sinnoh, and Alola starters. And I'll have them in the thumbnail, but they just look beautiful, from pulling things from the games and the original Game Boy scenes down to the DS and Sinnoh and Alola, like that kind of stuff. That's what fans are after. But backing up, just please let me know. I need to be better at this. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments about the Super Bowl commercial, and if you felt like it hit a bit of nostalgia or something like that. I don't know. Just let me know in the comments what you thought. And if you liked it, let me know. And if you didn't like it, or just thought it was cool that Pokemon did a commercial in the Super Bowl, that in itself I thought was pretty cool. You don't see any other TCGs releasing a Super Bowl commercial. And by the way, I don't know if you guys knew how much the Super Bowl commercial cost, but it's $10 million for a 30-second ad. That is a lot of money to put out there, and maybe that's why I expected a little bit more. But you know, here we are, and what can you do? They did what they did, and they have a much better marketing team than me and myself here on these YouTube videos. But let's get back to the illustration rare promos and kind of just talk about where Pokemon is kind of shifting as a hobby, and people wanting to collect, you know, more and more, and loving these illustration rare cards. You know, getting into the hits from Ascended Heroes, like there's potential for, well, one, a God Pack, but then like there are 3 slots to get shiny cardboard, and that just, whenever you open up a pack, you want that hit. You want that feeling, that chase, and they're playing very well into that for, you know, rip and shippers, those who just want to collect, those who just want to open with their friends and family, and those who want to invest. Like they're hitting all points on all cylinders, and I can tell you that I think that the way that Pokemon is handling the hit rates, in my opinion, is much better than it was in the past with the reverse holo rare, and then the potential, or not reverse holo rare, but the reverse holo, and then the rare in the slot behind it, and potentially not even getting anything. While there was a greater chase in that, and those packs that had those kinds of chases are doing very well, it just didn't allow people to have that opportunity to know what it was like, you know, because growing up, I was opening whatever came in a 10, 3 or 4 packs, and that was kind of it probably for a set as a kid, you know, because my parents weren't into it that much, and they just knew that I liked the video games, and so I would maybe be strolling through Walmart and get lucky. They might want to get some packs, but you know, we're only opening 1 to 4 packs maybe, and you know, to open it and then not get anything is you know, very disappointing. And you know, now what they're releasing, like you're getting hits 1 to 3 packs, and I think that's kind of what Ascended Heroes kind of gotten down to, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. You know, before my first video, I talked about the hit rates, and I think it was kind of 1 to 5 at that time. But of course, you know, that was just kind of trying to put some content out there, release something quickly. And I mean, that's still pretty accurate. But, you know, now that it's getting down to 1 to 3, 1 to 4, like, you know, that's awesome. That's awesome for people who want to open up product. And that's awesome for people who want to collect. They can get the cards that they want, and hopefully at a cheaper price in the future. And then for investors, it's great because people love opening up the set, and they want more sealed product, and you know, they have it, and they can sell into the hype of the market or hold on to it because of the nostalgia that they feel. Pokemon can be anything you want. And I was just kind of looking back on my past and my history with Pokemon. I wasn't in it like most people, and I'm hoping I can resonate with you a little bit on, you know, starting a Pokemon business because you enjoyed a little bit of your childhood, what you experienced in Pokemon. I wasn't in it forever. I wasn't in it in the beginning, and I'll never claim to be into Pokemon in the very beginning. If I, like, the earliest game I think I have for Pokemon is Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green for the Game Boy Advance. And I played it on my DS. I didn't even play it on a Game Boy. So that just tells you where I am in the timeline. And, you know, not everybody has the same beginning. And there are people getting in the hobby starting right now. And that's exactly where kind of I am, really. I'm just getting into the hobby right now and just wanting to talk about those who know of Pokemon. They want to get into Pokemon, and maybe they have a lot of experience in Pokemon. That's fine too, because I do have a past in Pokemon, but they are wanting to get into the business right now. And I mean, to be honest, the best time to start was yesterday, and the next best time to start is today. And, you know, I might have had very little to talk about in front of this camera, but, you know, you just gotta get in front of it and put yourself out there, and that's what I'm trying to do. And, you know, I thought about making a video on how to post cards on eBay. You know, comment down below if you would like me to go into a video about creating a YouTube listing for a card. You know, I think it's fairly simple. I'll kind of just, you know, just let me know if you want me to do something like that. It's fairly simple. And I have posted on TCG Player before, and I haven't done it in a while, but, you know, can even go into that. Just comment down below what maybe you would like to see next, and if you would like to see something about just how to get started small but quickly, maybe with just a couple cards that you have in your collection. You know, people are after them. I talked about the cards in my last video that I was trying to sell, and I posted, you know, roughly 10 cards, maybe a little bit more yesterday, and I've already gotten 4 sales and like 6 offers on the cards that I posted. And, you know, people want this stuff, and, you know, it's so easy on eBay to just go to the sold and completed items, kind of see what this card is selling for roughly, and then just picking a listing from that list, and then going off of it, and basically just kind of copying and pasting whatever was in that sold listing, and then putting your photos in there, changing what you need to in the title, and you know, that half the stuff is already kind of filled out for you on eBay. But, you know, getting into my plans with those cards, and the hope is that I can just start accumulating little by little to try to build up some funds to really start getting the business off the ground, get a website created, put some product out there, and just kind of test the waters a little bit. You know, I was watching a couple videos and listening to people talking about Night Hill Zero, the Japanese set that just came out, and how it's selling, and it honestly hasn't been selling that great. And no, that's not Pokemon releasing a set that's supposed to be poor just to cool down the market. That's not at all what they're doing. They have these sets planned out well into the future when the games are in production. They know what set they're going to come out with, you know, way before we could even know what the video game is. You know, kind of like Wind and Wave that's about to come out as a Pokemon video game. Like, the set is already been produced. They already know what's in it, and they might even be printing some of it right now. Who knows? But they already know what was going to be released with Wind and Wave, and they already know about the next one and the next one. They're not trying to time the market. They have no clue what the market's going to do, and that just makes no sense to even make that assumption, because, you know, if they were going to do something like that, let's just say they do just produce product because of all the hype, and they just want to release the most popular thing. Like then they would just put a Charizard or Mewtwo or the starters in every single set, you know. But they don't do that. They release it based on the video games and starters who come in that video game, and the legendary that's in that video game. Like, you see the pattern, and I haven't even been in Pokemon, you know, that long back into it, and like I can see that pattern. So it's just stop with the comments about them trying to cool down the hype that's going on right now in the hobby. It's just not true. You know, but comment down below, you know, what your favorite game was, what you remembered playing, if you enjoyed Pokemon ZA. I'm currently playing Pokemon ZA, and I mean, I've had a lot of fun. You know, the shiny hunting part is pretty cool. I've never been able to catch a shiny Pokemon in a series game, and so I've had a lot of fun just playing at my own pace and enjoying the game for what it is. And you know, when the Sword and Shield era games came out on the Switch, you know, that was kind of my entry back in like the 2020 or around there. And you know, then I'm pretty sure I've gotten most of the mainline games since then. You know, I got the Diamond and Pearl because I grew up playing Platinum on the DS, and I got the Scarlet and Violet. I think I got Violet, and then I got Pokemon Arceus, and that was really great game because of the era in Sinnoh, and I love Sinnoh. That's my era, and so, you know, I have thought about this too whenever we talked about just eras and people getting into the hobby and who's currently in the hobby. And there are plenty of young people right now who are starting to make a little bit of money, and they want to spend it on Pokemon. And you know, that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm that person who is starting to make a little bit of money and would like to spend some money on Pokemon and enjoy it. You know, but there's no product out there. And so what do? They resort to looking on eBay, right? And then they see that prices are crazy, and then they don't buy. And then it's like, you know, what was what was the point in them even getting excited about Pokemon again? Because they can't get it. They can't get the product. And that's ultimately why I wanted to start trying to sell some Pokemon cards, because I want to get Japanese, other language product out there, so then people can enjoy it. Because like I said in many videos before, they don't look at the language of the words, they're looking at the Pokemon itself, and that is what relates to everybody, is the Pokemon itself. And, just wanting to get into getting product out to the masses. And let me know if you're having a hard time getting product and would like to, maybe start getting into Japanese or just something, so then you can get your hands on some cards, open up some packs with friends and family. Just let me know in the comments what you think, if that is something that resonates with you. And I've also been able to think a lot more, and I'm thankful for the comments that I've received on my videos about how to handle English product. I know distro is way far down the line, right? Way far down the line. May never even get it. Who knows? So this point that I'm about to make is irrelevant. But whenever I would potentially be able to get English product and sell it at MSRP, like, that's what it's going to be, because I could limit what I sold on the website, and that would allow others to be able to get product and it not just get sold out immediately. And anything that was purchased on the open market from like a reseller or something like that, that is whenever it could be sold at, whatever the market price is asking for that product. And, that just seems fair. It's definitely not fair, and to me, to get product from a distro and sell it higher than MSRP and sell it at market, that just doesn't sit well with me. And I've already had some comments on my small YouTube channel that isn't how it should be handled. And there are some stores out there that do this, and that is completely on them. I'm wanting to start this so that I can get product out to everybody. And if I bought English, Pokemon from a reseller at, below market, so then I have some margin to make, that is whenever it would be legitimate to sell at market price. Anything that would be potentially purchased on my behalf from an LGS or a retail store, or anything like that, I personally just kind of see that going into the personal collection, and that hanging out for a bit. And then if I wanted to sell it in the future, that would probably be something that I might do. But as far as getting product from a distro or getting it from a reseller, like, those are going to be two completely different things. Not both of them are going to be listed for market. I've kind of started to be able to form my own opinion on how I felt about it, and that's kind of where I've landed on it right now. And just let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if that's exactly the way you feel. And I hope that you can understand and help me as well, help you, help me know what everybody else's needs are, what their wants are, and how I can lean into that. Because ultimately, I am selling to you guys, and I want my customers to be happy with their purchases. Excuse me. And if you guys aren't happy, if all I'm doing is just selling at some exorbitant price and you don't understand why, like, this is kind of the way that I'm trying to explain why. Or if it's like, whoa, how are you selling something for this cheap? It's like, well, I was able to get this from distro, so this is going to be listed for MSRP. And I finally started, after a couple weeks, getting back into it and just seeing what other people are doing on their stores. That's the kind of opinion that I've started to put together, is anything that would be, from a distro like MSRP, and anything that I purchase for retail is not going to just be flipped back onto the store. That's not the way I'm going to handle it. Anything that I might purchase via retail, going to be put away, going to be open, put away, whatever I want to do with it. That's going to be on me. But, not going to be put up for resale kind of, during, maybe if it was the last print run or something like that. Like, not going to be doing that, And then, of course, when you see something listed at market, it would probably be a collection that I might have been able to acquire. And, that's kind of the cool way to bring in some English product, is from collectors. And it'll be really fun. And I know I'm going to enjoy it whenever I get into this longer and longer. To be able to purchase products from collectors, from people like you. Purchasing collections is going to be a cool way to connect with the community. And, I don't see why I couldn't get into vending, some one day. I don't know any places around here that have any shows or whatever. I know there's got to be some. And if not, going to a mall locally would be a lot of fun. And just getting out there in the community is what this is going to be all about. And I can't wait. Just let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Should I really, really dive deep into, what you guys want to, well, what am I trying to say? Should I dive deep into, more of the product itself, or, more of the what's happening business-wise? Because a lot of my views are coming from, like, the Ascended Heroes pull rates, talking about Ascended Heroes. A lot of views have kind of come from that. And then whenever I talk about the business, those don't receive as many views, but that's the kind of value that I'm wanting to provide. Talking about Poke Beach and the current news, that sometimes gets a lot more views. This was a mixed bag of everything today, but I wanted to get it out there because in the last video, I just kind of showed off my collection, talked a little bit about the business, but kind of talking a bit more about the opinions that I've started to form as I've looked more into the investing and the business side, and then also the collector side, and how to handle product that is sold at retail, and how to handle product that is purchased from Japan, and how to handle product that is purchased from a collector. So let me know if you guys enjoyed that. Leave a like and comment, and please subscribe. Thank you.